जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jayo Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. जय कलयुग पावन हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। इसका ट्रेबल बढ़ाइए, बास जीरो है, बास जीरो है। हरे कृष्ण। ओके, हरे कृष्णा। So welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagwat Gita class. Thank you for coming, taking out your precious time to attend this Bhagwat Gita class. We are continuing our discussion from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 6th, which is entitled Dhyana Yoga. In this chapter, Krishna is elaborating the two verses of the last chapter. In this last chapter, 27 and 28, these two verses, Krishna gave a glimpse of what is Ashtanga Yoga. And that is what he is elaborating in this 6th chapter. And the 29th verse of the last chapter, the last verse, that is about devotional service, and that he elaborates in 6 chapters. So just by seeing the comparative analysis, Krishna is dedicating Ashtanga Yoga 1 chapter, Bhakti Yoga 6 chapters. So this book, although this book of Bhagavad Gita, it has all the yogas, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, but predominantly all the conversations are to make Arjun focused on this Bhakti Yoga. Because Krishna is Supreme Lord, he is Bhagwan, and Arjun is the Supreme Devotee. So whenever any conversation happens between Bhagwan and Bhakta, what will be the topic? That is Bhakti only. So that is elaborated in this chapter, in this 6th chapter of Ashtanga Yoga is elaborated, and all the remaining chapters will be hearing from 7th to 12th. They'll be elaborating on Bhakti Yoga. So far we have heard in this chapter, Krishna began by telling that there are two levels of Ashtanga Yogis. Yoga Ruruksha and Yoga Rudha. Yoga Ruruksha means the primary level of yogi. Shuru kiya hai abhi yoga karna. So, in the beginning you can't tell them to do Sirshasan. Slowly. So that is Yoga Ruruksha, the preliminary levels of Ashtanga Yoga. And as this yogi becomes advanced, then he is given the higher levels of yogic process. That is called as Yoga Rudha. And then we heard in this chapter so far, Krishna elaborating on the various practices of Ashtanga Yogi. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. And we heard that all these principles, they can be applied for Bhakti Yogis also. It is not that, okay, we are discussing something about Ashtanga Yoga. It is not so important for me. Principles are universal. The principles of spirituality are universal in all these paths. Either Jnana or Ashtanga or Bhakti. These 3 are transcendental paths. Karma Yoga is little more material because you want material benefits. What is the result a karmi wants? Karma yogi ko kya chahiye life mein? After he performs all his karma yoga, what is the end result of this karma yogi?
Fruits of the actions.
He wants to go to heaven. That is the ultimate result a karma yogi wants. He will work in this world nicely so that he can go to heaven. Because heaven, there are more chances to enjoy. In this earth planet, our body is limited. How much we can enjoy? Even if we like the best of the food, our favorite food is kept in front of us. After certain years, it is said that up to 30 years, health topics are boring. And then after 30, they are exciting. After 50, they are interesting. Now, after 50, they are of concern. And after 60, they are the only things we talk about. So for a material person, Kali Yuga body, anyways, Kali Yuga body is the lowest. How long we can enjoy? I want to go to Swarga and enjoy. उसके लिए यहाँ पे तपस्या चलेगा. Because little tapasya here will give me higher benefit and enjoyment in heaven. That is Karma Yogi. He does really intense tapasya sometimes in this world. आज के टाइम में कर्म yogis are also rare. Because nobody follows dharma. Nobody follows scriptures. People, they do whatever it comes there in their mind. मुझे लगता है ऐसे करना चाहिए. Some people, they concoct. मतलब मुझे लगता है भक्ति ऐसे करनी चाहिए. मुझे लगता है भगवान को आज ये चढ़ाएंगे तो Lord will be pleased. So Karma Yogi, the highest destination is heaven. What is the highest destination of a Jnani? Jnana Yogi कहाँ पहुँचते हैं? They enter Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti means Brahman. the light which comes from the body of Lord Krishna, that is called as Brahman. That is the destination of Jnani. And Ashtanga yogis also ultimately they go to Brahman only. Where does a devotee goes? What is the desire of a devotee? गोलोक जाना है, भगवान की सेवा करना है. That is much higher than even desiring to go to Goloka or Vaikuntha. Because Krishna, he tells, Uddhava, he tells his mother, one of the avatars of the Lord is Kapila Dev. अपने क्रिकेटर नहीं, एक भगवान के अवतार हुए हैं, उनका नाम है कपिला. He is son of Devahuti and Kardam Muni. So he is telling his mother the various principles of bhakti. And he says, my dear mother, my devotees, they are not interested in even going to spiritual world. You know what are they interested in? They are interested in my seva. If seva is not there, and if I give them liberation, they will not go to spiritual world also. Otherwise, what they'll do? करेंगे क्या? सेवा नहीं है. I don't want to go to spiritual world. I want service. Because that is our innate constitutional position. That is our dharma. Last time also we were discussing. Dharma means that characteristic which never changes. So all of us want to serve. But because we are trying to serve people of this world, our relatives, ourselves, our society, our country, they don't reciprocate the way we want. So we are never happy to the fullest. थोड़ी खुशी मिलती है कभी कभी सेवा करके, but we are not always happy. But when we serve the Supreme Lord, who is all wonderful, who knows what we want, He is the closest to us, right? In our heart, Krishna is there along with ourself, Atma and Paramatma. Krishna is watching each and every action of ours. He knows what we want. So he is planning what will make this person happy. Unfortunately, we never listen to what Krishna tells us. We always make our plans. So the more we serve the Lord, we will be happiest. सालोक्य सारिष्टि सामिप्या सारूप्य एकत्वमप्युता दीयमानं न गृह्णन्ति विना मत्सेवनं जना. Lord Kapila is telling, my devotees are not interested in any types of mukti. Mukti भी बहुत प्रकार की होती है. Mukti is a very common word. What do we understand when we hear the word mukti? Mukti मतलब कहीं से तो मिलेगी ना मुक्ति. It's like after 1 hour you'll be liberated from this class. So mukti कहाँ से चाहिए? Okay, from the cycle of birth and death. ठीक है. So यहाँ से मुक्त होके कहीं तो जाएंगे ना? कहाँ जाएंगे? So mukti can be various types. Some people they want to merge in Brahman. Brahman में जाना है. Some people they say no. What is the use of going to Brahman? There is no relationship there. Only Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. How many of us like Shanti in our life? Peace. Everybody? Haji?
In a sense.
Okay. But if I tell you that, okay, you'll be put in a room with all the facilities, proper nice prasad will be given, you will have japmala with you, no mobile, no television, no internet, बस आप और माला. No devotee, no friends, no relatives. How long you can stay in that room, that house? Shanti hai, nobody will disturb you. How long we can stay? 1 day? 2 days? 1 week? कितने लोग सोचते हैं एक हफ्ता रह लेंगे हम? No? Nobody? 1 महीना? You know, this peace, it gives satisfaction for some time. But relationships, Although in our relationships there will be some troubles, somebody will not reciprocate the way we want, our husband or wife or children, but staying with them and solving problems, sometimes it gives better joy, more happiness. So that is the joy of relationships. That is not there in Brahman. So some people say, I don't want to go to Brahman. I want liberation and go to the place where God lives. That is either Vaikuntha or Goloka. In Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu stays. In Goloka, Krishna stays. In Vaikuntha also, different people have different types of liberation. Some people, they get a chance to have the same bodily features as Lord Vishnu. Same exactly. They have the same wealth and opulences as Vishnu. They get to stay near the Lord for eternity. They get to stay in the same planet as the Lord stays. Salokya. Salokya means ekilok. Salukya, samipya, near the Lord. Sarishti, same opulences. Sarupya, same form. But Kapila says, if in all these things seva is not there, devotee doesn't accept it. So that is a joy of service. And that's what we are asking when we are chanting regularly. What is the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What are we asking for? O Srimati Radharani, O energy of the Lord Hare, please engage me in the service of Krishna, who is all attractive and who is the source of all pleasure, Ram. What are we asking for? Service. That is the greatest joy, to serve. And that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to develop our relationship with the Lord. So far we have tried to develop relation with so many things of the world. They have not given us satisfaction. Now in this world, in this life, give a chance. Give a try. Anyways, we keep trying so many new products, like, right? Mall जाते हैं, oh नया brand, new product. Try it. Try this also. It is a time-tested formula. Never failed. So that is the desire of a devotee. He is not interested in liberation if seva is not there. So we are continuing in this section where Krishna is describing the various limbs of Ashtanga Yogi. Last time we discussed till verse number 13, right? We'll continue with verse number 14. So we have heard in 13th and 14th verses, Krishna is describing what the devotee, what this yogi does externally and internally. Externally, what he does? He sits straight, samamakaya shira griva, and his mind, dharayan nachalam sthira, he does not move, he does not shake. We should try to apply these principles in our chanting, in our devotional practices also. Sit straight while chanting. Otherwise, if we know, प्रभु जी आपने तो बताया चैंटिंग कैसे भी कर सकते हैं, थोड़ा लेट के चैंटिंग करते हैं इजी चेयर पे. So there are more chances that माला उठाने के बाद 1 घंटे के बाद हो गया, कब खत्म हुआ पता नहीं चला. I never heard it, I didn't even hear one mantra. So samamakaya shirogrivam dharayan nachalam sthira, and focusing on nasika agra. Anyone remembers why on the tip of the nose?
No disturbance so that we cannot.
No distractions, okay. And why only tip of the nose? ठीक है, मतलब why a tip of the nose? Nothing interesting about it. There is nothing attractive about the nose, you know. So now, a devotee, what he does internally, that is very important. Prashantatma vigatabhir ब्रह्मचारी व्रते स्थितः
ब्रह्मचारी विशेषतः
मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तो
मनः संयम्य चित्ततो
युक्त आसीत मत्परः.
युक्त आसीत् मत्परः.
Translation please. Somebody can read. Yes.
One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from the sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life.
Okay. Prashant Atma. Shant, peaceful. Prashant, Prakrishta Rupena Shant means completely peaceful mind. Prashant Atma. So that is the result of doing this Ashtanga Yoga. If somebody sits straight and focuses on the tip of the nose or in the middle of the eyebrows and doing pranayam, the mind becomes very, very peaceful. Prashant. And then second is very important word. Vigata bhi. Vigata bhi, one becomes fearless. Prashant Atma. Vigata bhi. Brahmachari vrate sthitaha. He should maintain the vows of celibacy. And in this way, what he should do? Manah sanyamya. Sanyamya karna hai man ko. Withdraw the mind from all the sense objects, of all the other distracting things of the world. Manah sanyamya. Then what? Where to focus? We cannot focus on impersonal light. There should be object of meditation. So on whom we should focus the mind on? Matchittaha. That's the most important word in this verse. Matchittaha. Some of the people, they say, in some of the societies, if you follow their path, they'll say, come in our classes, and what do you have to do? There'll be a candle in front and just meditate on the light, on the flame. They are meditating on the candle light. But we are discussing what Bhagwat Gita describes. What should we meditate on? Matchittaha. Meditate on the form of the Lord. That is actual meditation. Not meditation on the candle, not meditation on the impersonal form. Somebody was saying that, I go to these meditation classes and I feel very, peaceful and fresh after doing this meditation. So one person asked, क्या करते हैं वो? एकदम room अंधेरा रहता है. And there's only one candle light burning. It is a AC room. Very nice. आधा घंटा. We have to sit there. And then we don't even realize when half hour passes by. आधा घंटा सो के आएगा तो फ्रेश लगेगा ही. Most of the time that happens. So Krishna is saying, Mat chittaha. Meditate on my form. Mat paraha. Mat chittaha. Yukta asita. Mat paraha. Make me the goal of your life. That is very, very wonderful. So it is very interesting to understand that these yogis, they are in the forest, right? In the middle of the wildlife. They don't carry a gun with them. If a wild animal comes, I'll shoot that animal so that I can do my yoga properly. And they're not in fear. मेरा बंदूक लेके कोई भाग तो नहीं जाएगा. They are completely free from this fear. Prashant Atma Vigata Bhi. Why they are fearless? Any thoughts? How can a yogi be fearless in the middle of the wildlife? Any of you have been to, trekking or in the wildlife? And if you are lost there with nobody around you, मजा आया. Wow, I always wanted ekant. It is a fearful situation. Then why this yogi is fearless? Any thoughts? He has full faith on protection of the Lord. That the Lord, whatever the Lord wants, that will happen. I am surrendered. This is one of the most important limbs of our bhakti also. Avashya rakshibe Krishna iti vishwas palan. Krishna will always protect me. Somebody may think, well, Krishna didn't protect this devotee. Krishna didn't protect me when I was in distress. I went through such disturbing situations, so many health crises, financial problems, economic, family problems, relationship problems. Why Krishna didn't protect me in those situations? We should always remember, Krishna protects our faith for sure. And if he likes, he will protect our body also, because he knows what is best for me. It looks difficult to accept this, right? भगवान की भक्ति करेंगे तो I should be happy ना, my health should be good, my family, my finances should go good. We have too many expectations from God. By practicing our bhakti, we are having too many expectations. If somebody thinks that by coming to Gita classes, I expect that no problems will come in my life. I think many of you are attending since day one of our program here, since 3 years back, chanting also. Anybody is there in this room who says, जब से chanting करना शुरू किया ना, एक problem नहीं आया जीवन में? Anyone here? Sometimes it feels ज़्यादा आ गया लग रहा है. हुआ है किसी के साथ ऐसा? नहीं हुआ?
ज़्यादा वाला तो एक्सपीरियंस आ जाता है.
Sometimes it feels like that. Previously I was not so bad here. But after I have come to spiritual life, I don't know why things are going wrong. I wanted a peaceful life. But it seems it has become more disturbed. Why? When you start cleaning the room, which is full of dust, you have never cleaned for 1 year or so. Sometimes you go for a holiday trip and you come after 15 days, 20 days, a month, and your whole home is full of dust. And if somebody starts cleaning that, what happens? The dust rises. And you feel, अरे अभी तो साफ कर रहे हैं भाई, धूल कम होनी चाहिए. Why it is so dusty? Please understand, as we start cleaning our mind, as we start cleaning our heart by this process of spiritual practice, by chanting, we should expect some difficulties. But what this person has to do, who is cleaning, इतनी धूल उड़ रही है, बंद साफ नहीं करेंगे. क्या करना है? Keep cleaning. Having faith, साफ होगा. Krishna always guarantees protection of our consciousness. And if he likes, he'll protect our body also. And he does so many times. It is not that नहीं आपका शरीर कुछ भी हो, I'll protect your consciousness only. Krishna does what is good for us. Just like a father or mother sometimes punishes the children, sometimes rewards the children. Why? It's good for the child. So that is a faith a devotee should have. Prashantatma vigatabhi. So as we are practicing spirituality in 21st century, this fear factor, it is most prominent. Actually, we are not so fearful as the animal society. Have you seen birds eating? With every morsel they eat, they look around. Why?
Because of fear.
Fear. Somebody should not hit me. Do we have fear? When we are eating prasad, मेरा plate लिख के तो कोई नहीं भाग जाएगा. We don't have such fears in our life. We don't look around, somebody will hit us. But we have our other fears. We are fearful of so many things in our life. What are things we are fearful of? Some gross fears everybody has. Okay, we fear our belongings should not go away. Okay, about death, about disease. What else? Relationships should not go bad, go wrong.
Monetarily.
Our financial situation should be good. We are fearful of the 8 things I have discussed many times. Atmajaya Sutagara Pashu Dravina Bandhushu Rajya. We are fearful our body should be fine. No disease. Atma. Our mind should be good. Body should be good. Jaya. Husband or wife should be nice, cooperative. जो बहुत बार प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. Atma Jaya. Suta. Our children should be very obedient. They should have good qualities. Agar. Home should be wonderful. Pashu. Pashu in today's context is vehicles. Vehicles should be nice. Good order. Dravina. Good bank balance. Bandhu. Relative should be nice. And Rajya, our property should be well taken care of. इसके अलावा और कुछ fear है? These are the 8 fears. That's so wonderful. Our scriptures, they summarize all the things in one line. ये 8 चीजों के अलावा कुछ भी आप सोच सकते हैं? भय किससे होता है? So that is the causes, that these are the causes of fear. This fear is the most powerful emotion. One time there was a man moving in his village and he saw a very, very huge giant person wearing black cloths. And he became fearful. He said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am death personified." "Oh, why have you come here?" He said, "I have come here to take 500 men of your village. In 1 month you will see 500 men. I want to take 500 men. They'll die." He became very fearful. He went on telling everybody, "I saw death personified. He has come to take 500 men." After 1 month, 5,000 men died. So as he is moving around, again he sees this death personified. He said, "Hey, you said only 500. You took 5,000. What is this?" He said, "No. I came to take 500 only. Rest 4,500 died out of fear. This fear is very, very prominent emotion, So it is said that what is fear? Fear is the difference between our plans and the Lord's plans. That is fear. We make our plans, Lord has His plans, and we fear if they don't match. मैंने कुछ और प्लान बनाया है, भगवान का कुछ और प्लान है. So to the extent our plans are aligned with Lord's plans, we become fearless. One time, a small child goes to his father and says, "Papa, आपका उस सरनेम वाघमारे है ना, वाघमारे. आप मम्मी को इतना क्यों डरते हो? नहीं, आपका सरनेम वाघ है ना, वाघ. आप मम्मी को इतना क्यों डरते हो?" बोलते पापा बोलते, "अरे मम्मी का सरनेम वाघमारे है." The more our plans and Lord's plans are different, to that extent we'll be fearful. We have discussed this many times. If we are not an optimist, we are an atheist. It is very, very important to have faith in Lord's plan. Whatever Lord does, He knows what is best for us. How fearless Prahlad was. How fearless Parikshit was. He was cursed to die in 7 days. How fearless Chitraketu was. We have heard the story of Chitraketu. Chitraketu Maharaj, he was flying in his airplane and he sees Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. Mother Parvati is sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is giving a discourse on Vairagya to all the sadhus, with his hands around the shoulders of Parvati. So Chitraketu is surprised. He is amused to see this scene. Wow. Only Lord Shiva can do this. And he smiles. And Lord Shiva understands. But who feels offended? Parvati. She says, "How can he insult my husband?" She curses Chitraketu. Do you think that we are so shameless that we are doing wrong thing in public? And who has given you the right to laugh at us and correct us? I curse you. You are behaving like a demon. You become a demon. It is not the words of an ordinary woman of this world. कुछ भी बोलो क्या फर्क पड़ता है. Mother Parvati is speaking. And he knows that it will come true for sure. What Chitraketu does? He folds his hands and says, "Oh mother, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to insult Lord Shiva, but I was just amused to see this. But anyways, I don't want you to take back this curse. Guna pravaha tasmin kah shapa kah anugraha kah swarga narkah ko va kim sukham dukkham eva va." He says everything in this world is happening under the influence of the modes. What is happiness? What is distress? What is heaven? What is hell? It is all temporary. I accept. And he folds his hands and goes away. And Lord Shiva tells Parvati, just see, this is the glory of the devotees of Lord Narayan. They are never fearful. Narayan parasarve na kutaschana bibhyati. Swarga apavarga narakeshu api tulyartha darshina. The devotees of Lord Narayan, they are fearless. In any situation, they are fearless. Swarga jayenge, chale gaye. Narak jayenge, no problem. So what gives them such fearlessness? Because they know whatever Lord plans, that is best for me. There was one disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Her name was Kunti Devi. Very simple lady from the Western world. Whole life she was serving devotees, doing some small things, trying to spread Krishna consciousness as per her level and strength. Very simple devotee, not a famous person. Nobody knew her. Whole life she served humbly. And then in the old age, she developed cancer. And surprisingly, she was happier than before. She was never sad कि मुझे cancer हो गया. And people would come to meet her thinking that they would give her solace. She would tell them so many wonderful things that they would feel enthusiastic about bhakti. The news reached newspaper reporters. They came to interview this lady. And it was published that this lady has 4th grade cancer and she is so very happy. Many devotees who had left practicing spirituality, they again came to meet her. And seeing her convictions and faith and fearlessness, they again started practicing. She said, "These are the best days of my life. I don't want to trade this off with anything in this world." So that is very amazing. A person is about to die and she is saying, "I don't want to trade it off." That was Parikshit also. Na? Like, whatever may come, okay, no problem, chalega. Just try to, all of you saints, please keep on singing the glories of the Lord. So from where this fearlessness comes? This comes from having faith that Krishna will surely protect me. That is the mood of this yogi. Vigata bhi. When we are fearless on our own strength, I am so powerful, I am fearless. That doesn't last long. Because you will always find somebody who is more powerful than you. In every field, if you are very expert in your management, you will find somebody who is more expert. You are wealthy, you will find somebody more wealthy. You are expert in whatever field, cooking or singing or speaking or managing or whatever, you will always find somebody better. But a devotee of the Lord, he depends on the Lord and that gives him fearlessness. So that is how a devotee is fearless. Then the next word described is Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha. This is the first reference of celibacy in Bhagavad Gita. Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha. Interestingly, in today's age, both yogis and yoginis, they go together and do yoga. It is not recommended. If you want to practice Ashtanga yoga, first you have to give up your life. Give up your family. Give up your family, go to forest and do yoga there. You can't tell your wife or your friend, चलो आप हम लोग साथ में योगा करेंगे. No, it doesn't work like that. So that is brahmachari vrati sthitah. Prabhupada writes in detail about this celibacy. He quotes one verse from Yajnavalkya. Before that he says, one has to practice controlling mind and avoid all types of sense gratification, of which sex life is the chief. What is celibacy? Karmana manasa vacha. Complete refrain in activities, in the mind, in your words. Never ever indulge in any thoughts which are against the principles of celibacy. So Prabhupada writes in detail, it is so very difficult to follow this principle unless you have a higher taste. Unless you know something is better than this, then it can be easily given up. Otherwise it is very difficult. Prabhupada quotes this verse, 2nd chapter, 59th verse. What is that? Yeah. Okay. We'll recite this verse. Please take out 2nd chapter, 59th verse. Unless we develop a higher taste, we cannot give up a lower taste. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Translation please.
To the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense objects remains, but ceasing such engagement by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in a consciousness.
So unless we develop a higher taste, we cannot give up a lower taste. All of us have experienced a little bit of the higher taste, by practicing spiritual process for last few years. Some of the lower things we have given up. And for some of us, it was not a big endeavor. Aram se chhod diya. What all things we have given up? Onion garlic. Okay, that's the biggest tapasya. कैसे छोड़ेंगे? Onion garlic. उसके बिना कैसे जिएंगे? What else we have given up? उससे और एक बड़ा तपस्या, चाय. That is another tapasya. So if you are thinking, अरे अभी भी मुश्किल लग रहा है, please pray to the Lord. Problem is you don't pray to the Lord. We fear. Pray नहीं करेंगे. इसके लिए नहीं pray करेंगे. How can I give up this? So very dear. I'll tell you a wonderful story. In the beginning days of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada was in America. It is 1965. And he started teaching Bhagwat Gita. Some of the people, they started coming. One of them, and a few of them, they got initiated also. But they got initiated, and actually this is before that. One of the persons, he was very interested, chanting also, and I think he got initiated. Shyam Sundar Prabhu, one of the very senior disciples of Prabhupada, is still there. And they are coming from American background, from hippie culture, they're smoking, drinking, all that. They got initiated, and still they had those habits. Interestingly, Prabhupada was so patient with them. Prabhupada never told them these principles unless they got initiated. He just fed them prasad and made them chant. Bas, aur kya karna hai, aur kuch nahi. Just keep doing this. And then Prabhupada said, you want to get initiated, you have to chant 16 rounds. Okay, so somehow they got initiated, and then the day they got initiated, Prabhupada put a notice on their notice board. All those who are initiated should follow the 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex life. पहले तो बताया नहीं Prabhupada. You have cheated us. But क्या करें अभी? They were in love with Prabhupada. They were, ठीक है अभी Prabhupada is saying we'll give up. But somehow conditionings were not going. So this devotee, so his wife, Malti Mataji, both were initiated. So she went in some Indian store and she found small deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. Indian store. But she didn't have money. So she thought, wow, looks like very beautiful Indian deities, Indian statues. What to do? I want to gift them to Prabhupada, Swamiji, but I don't have money. So she secretly picked one of them. And that was Jagannath ji ko only. And she came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have brought something for you from India. And she put Jagannath deity on the table. And Prabhupada offered full Dandavat Pranam. And she was shocked. What happened? First time they had seen Swamiji doing Dandavat. So they asked, what happened? So he said, Prabhupada said, he is Jagannath, he is Lord of the universe. There must be two more. So she said, yes Swamiji, there are two more. So Prabhupada said, can you get them also? Prabhupada didn't know कि ये कैसे लाए. So she said, okay, अभी Prabhupada बोल रहे हैं तो दो और लेना पड़ेगा. She went and secretly picked up other two also. And then Shyam Sundar Prabhu, he was good in carving. So they were small 6 inches deities. So Prabhupada told Shyam Sundar Prabhu, can you make big deities out of it? 3 feet deities. He said, okay Swamiji, I'll do it. And he started carving the wood. And one day as Prabhupada came, he saw Shyam Sundar Prabhu smoking. And he is using the head of Jagannath as ashtray. We just imagine if any of these things happen now. So what the teacher will do? Angry. Get out, get out. But only Prabhupada could handle these people. You know, in the biography of Prabhupada, there is a chapter. Only he could lead them. You know what Prabhupada said? He didn't chastise him. He said, why do you want such a small piece of cigarette to come between you and Krishna? And it made a deep impact. And that is the art of correction. You know, sometimes we correct so harshly that वो बंदा बोलता है कुछ भी करूँगा ये तो बिल्कुल नहीं करूँगा. इतना कोई जानता है क्या? And then he said, please smoke one less every day. He was smoking 20 cigarettes daily that time. And because Prabhupada, he gave so much love, he was, helplessly, he had to follow. He was helpless. So slowly he became free of that. So that is the love Srila Prabhupada has given to all these disciples, So that's how, we have to understand. Anything we feel it is so very difficult to give up. Pray to the Lord. I know these are the ideals. If I want to advance in my spiritual practices, these are the ideals I have to follow. Just like in any field, there are some do's and don'ts. A singer will avoid eating cold things or cold drink or ice cream, whatever. Not good for her or him. A gymnast will not eat anything cold, it makes the body stiff. We are spiritual practitioners. There are do's and don'ts. So we have to do it. Otherwise, we'll keep coming, keep attending classes, but will not experience that transformation. मजा वो जो भक्ति का जो आनंद है वो नहीं आएगा. ठीक है फ्राइडे ठीक है. भगवत गीता किधर रखा है ढूंढो पहले. If you want to really be enthusiastic, then we have to, as Prabhupada would say, military discipline. और अनुप प्रसाद प्रभु जी नहीं आज. मिलिट्री डिसिप्लिन क्या होता है उनको पूछिए. तो करना है तो करना है. Order, if order comes from the superior, you cannot question. Why? Why मतलब transfer. You cannot disobey. Military discipline. So these scriptures, Prabhupada writes in one purport, military discipline. Be strict with yourself and be lenient with others. Sometimes we are other way around. माला नहीं कर रहे, यूजलेस, इतना लेक्चर सुन के आप कर रहे हैं. क्वेश्चन करता है, मैं 4 दिन पहले से भगवत गीता क्लास अटेंड कर रहा हूं, मालूम है. We have to be very, very strict. Then Vishaya Vinivartante will happen. So Krishna says, the last line, Manaha Sanyamya Matchittaha Yukta Asita Matpara. Make me as the object of meditation and objective of meditation also. What's the difference? Object of meditation and objective of meditation. Anyone knows this difference?
Object is you concentrate on the Lord.
Okay.
Objective is you concentrate on the Lord because you want to serve Him or you want to attain the Lord.
No, chalo, not in terms of the Lord. What is object and objective?
ऑब्जेक्टिव मीन्स कि आपका लक्ष्य ये क्या है, ऑब्जेक्ट मतलब आपका वो उसका विषय.
Okay, ठीक है. Object means what we meditate, focus on, and by focusing on this, what we will get. Objective. Just like a student studies, that is the object. Object is studying. But what is objective? Marks. Pass होने चाहिए. So Krishna says, I am not just the object of meditation. I am the objective of meditation also. All the impersonalists, Mayavadis means, we have heard many times. Just to repeat it once more. What is Mayavad? Mayavad means I will follow this and I will become God. That is Mayavad. You will see many of the spiritual leaders speaking this. You can become God. You are God. You have forgotten that you are God. ऐसे कैसे भगवान है जो भूल जाते हैं? आप भूल गए कि आप भगवान हैं. One time, Srila Prabhupada, he was speaking. He was invited to give a talk in a Sadhu Sammelan in Amritsar or in some place in North India. Prabhupada went with few of his American disciples, and one of them was Gurudas Prabhu. He was like 19-20 years old, young American. And all these sadhus, babajis, big beard, white hair, they were speaking all Mayavad. We are God, we can become God. And Prabhupada was so upset hearing all this. And after a few minutes, they said, Swamiji, now it is your turn to speak. Prabhupada said, I am not speaking. So Gurudas Prabhu said, Prabhupada, you have to speak something. Prabhupada said, you go and speak. He said, Prabhupada, these are all sannyasis, 50, 60, 70 years old, and I am just 19, 20 years old. What will I speak? Prabhupada said, you know better than all of them. You go and speak. So, just like a small child who has his father behind him, Beta tuja, main hu. So he goes and fearlessly says, so all of you are saying everything is one. You can become God. You are one with God. Is Rasgulla in sweet shop and stool in the street, is it one? So all the sadhus, they had never heard this example in their life. They were really offended. Rasgulla in sweet shop and stool in the street. They went to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, your disciple is insulting us. He is telling us to eat stool. So Prabhupada called Gurudas Prabhu. Did you say like this? He said, no Prabhupada, I was just giving an example. How can we compare Rasgulla and stool? They are not one. Prabhupada said, okay, you go. Prabhupada then told, my American disciples, sometimes they give very graphic examples. You forgive them, I'll chastise them, don't worry. And he pacified all of them, they left, and then Prabhupada called Gurudas Prabhu. He said, what was the example? Rasgulla in sweet shop and stool in the street? Very good example. How can we become one with God? But these Mayavadis, they say, we are God. So it is not one. So Krishna, so these people say, you do all these things, but the objective is different. Objective is not to please God. Objective is to become God. Yeah.
प्रभु जी, ये इंट्रोडक्शन जो है ये प्रभुपाद ने लिखा है ना,
Yeah.
तो उन्होंने भी ये लिखा ना कि we are also in a way minute ईश्वरस.
So that is the common understanding. We are minute Ishwar.
वो सारी चीजें जो ईश्वर में
Correct.
परफेक्ट हैं
Correct.
वो हमारे अंदर
In minute proportion. So we are not God. We are, Prabhupada says sometimes, we are sample gods. We can never become equal to God, right? We are also God in our own domain. Ishwar, what is the meaning of Ishwar? Technical meaning क्या होता है ईश्वर का? Controller. We are all controllers, right?
we have the tendency
Somebody is controlling his family, somebody is controlling his company or society or country. कोई खुद को कंट्रोल कर ले वही बड़ी बात है. But we are controllers. But who is Parameshwara? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. We are also Ishwar. But who is Parameshwar? That is Krishna. We are Anu. He is Vibhu. We are like gold particle. He is like gold mine. We are like the drop of ocean. He is like a ocean. So we are qualitatively same, quantitatively different. Actually, qualitatively also we are not completely same. वो भी अंतर है. So that's how. We have same qualities. जो भगवान में है वो हम में है, but very minute. So no, if somebody says हम भी भगवान हैं, Prabhupada would very loudly, clearly say, if somebody says I am God, he is not God, he is opposite. So it is foolishness to claim that I can become God. We can never become God. So Krishna says, I am not just the object of meditation, I am objective of meditation also. So Krishna is the highest reality. Krishna has spoken repeatedly in Bhagavad Gita. Please take out 7.7. I'll tell you many verses, where Krishna says He is the Supreme. 7th chapter, 7th verse. Krishna says, Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva mattaha parataram na anyat. Nobody is greater than me. Then please take out 10.8. In that again Krishna says, I am the controller of everything. Everything comes from me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam. Tadha bhava samanvitaha. So there is nobody greater than me. Mattaha. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Everything comes from me. So therefore Krishna is supreme reality. And an intelligent person will naturally say, if you are the supreme, O my Lord. And he is not a dictator. He is not a tyrant. He is not a sadist. He is the most loving well-wisher. And that's what we heard in the last chapter, last verse. Anyone remembers that word where Krishna says, I am the supreme well-wisher of everyone. He calls himself Surida. 5th chapter, 29th verse, Krishna speaks like that. Surida. I am the well-wisher of everyone. So we are not surrendering, we are not worshipping a God who is dictator, who is a sadist, who wants to put us in troubles. He is completely opposite. He is our dearmost well-wisher. So why not serve such a person? That is for our benefit only. So Prabhupada writes in the last paragraph about Vigatabhi. One cannot be fearless unless one is fully Krishna conscious. So basically there are various limbs of this Ashtanga Yoga. We are discussing these, Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam. There are 5 elements of Yam and 5 elements of Niyam, which is not mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. But we'll discuss something about that. What are the 5 things, the don'ts and the do's? What we have to do, what we should avoid. Don'ts means what we should avoid when we come with people. our social responsibilities. 5 things it is described. First thing is ahimsa. Ahimsa means
Fight.
violence. But Srila Prabhupada writes in 2 places beautiful definition of violence. Please take out 16th chapter and 2nd verse. Prabhupada writes a brilliant definition of what is ahimsa. Ahimsa is not just non-violence. Prabhupada writes, ahimsa was purport mein na, you find out, there are, Prabhupada is explaining all the qualities, and in one of them paragraphs you will find ahimsa. So in that, it is a big purport. If you can't find, it's okay, I'll just read that. Prabhupada writes, ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of a living entity. Prabhupada writes in one paragraph in that purport. When you kill somebody, when you kill an animal, what is happening? Every animal is on the progressive stage. He'll go to the next species. But if the animal is killed before his proper time, he'll have to take birth in the same species again. You are stopping the progress. That is ahimsa. Another place Prabhupada writes another beautiful definition of ahimsa. He says, ahimsa means one should not do anything which will put others into misery or confusion. That is also ahimsa. We should never ever do anything which will put others into misery. We are just thinking of the gross hinsa, na? But it is subtle way we should practice ahimsa. Don't do anything which will put others into misery, confusion, by our words, by our actions. Sometimes we like to insult others or make fun of somebody. It is good. It is okay if we make fun of some of our friends. Sometimes we do that. But have you ever experienced you're making fun of some of your friends and he felt so insulted and offended? Any of you have experienced this? It went beyond. Any of you have experienced? अब एकदम light atmosphere था and suddenly he felt very bad. So we should be very careful. Don't take over advantage of the friendship. Otherwise it spoils relationships. Very careful. And sometimes if you speak something wrong, they'll not open at that time. I personally experienced, a few months back, one of my friends, I was serving with him in my department services in temple, and suddenly one day I gave him some service and he blasted. Volcanic eruption. Started all downloading. You are always like this. मैं बोला क्या हो गया भाई? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say anything much. And then after some time I just, when some of your friends or relatives, he's in very angry mood, please don't try to defend yourself. कि मैंने ऐसा नहीं किया है, ये ऐसे क्यों सोच रहे हैं? Why you are always like this? Even if we don't mean it, they felt it. So therefore, after some time, I just called him and said, Papa, what is the problem? नहीं कुछ नहीं. He was not ready to even tell कि क्या हो गया. कुछ तो हुआ है. नहीं कुछ नहीं हुआ है. Something is there. After 15 minutes, he said, 3 years back. Literally, he started 3 years back. One day in the morning, I was coming out from temple hall. We all sleep in the temple hall, as open temple, with our mosquito net. और सब चटाई वटाई. So I was coming from temple hall and you started chastising me 3 साल पहले. And then one day you spoke that, सब याद करके रखा है. So then I just listened, I just heard. He spoke for 1 hour. What all wrong things I have done. Such way. He said, you are so insensitive. I was having ill health and I wanted that you should come with me, but you said I am busy, I'll send somebody else with you. All these things. I just heard. After 1 hour of just speaking, then he said, और कुछ नहीं, बस हो गया. It's enough. Then of course I had some nice heart-to-heart talk. I just spoke something and he felt little pacified. So it is very, very important to develop this habit of listening. Because we don't listen. We start giving solutions before listening. Because we know, मैंने तो गलती की ही नहीं. And I know the answers. I don't want to waste my time listening to you. Just hearing is very important. When we just listen, half of the problem is solved. And now he is a very good friend of mine. We have a good relationship. So that's how it is. So our words, our actions, when something will hurt others, we don't know. But what is in our hand? As soon as we realize that this person is hurt, say sorry. And there is one thing to say sorry, other thing to mean it, and third thing is to live by it. Sorry तो हम लोग ऐसा पानी की तरह यूज करते हैं, sorry. We say this word many times, sorry. But do we mean it? Mean it means we don't repeat the same mistake. And live by it means I'll do something to serve this person. Sometimes saying sorry is also very difficult. How many of you have felt like this? Saying sorry is so very difficult. Especially when you are right. किसी को एक्सपीरियंस है? मैं सही हूँ भाई, मैं क्यों सॉरी बोलूँ? गलती तो उसकी है. My spiritual master, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he made a very wonderful statement. He said, when we say sorry, that doesn't mean we are wrong. That means we value the relationship more than being right. Sorry is a very big word sometimes. You don't have to justify कि मेरी गलती नहीं है, sorry बोलिए ना.
Married boys तो वैसे भी बोलिए.
ऐसा वही एक बोलने वाला था, वो एक जोक मारने बोलने वाला था. One time. माता जी है क्या? है ना, इधर है, इधर बैठी है वो. One time a father, young grown-up son comes and says, and father says, first say sorry. बोले क्या हो गया? First say sorry. What happened? You say sorry first. He said, okay father, sorry. Now you are ready for marriage. Anyways, so we should not put others into misery by our actions. That is also ahimsa. Second quality of don'ts is satyam. Try to speak truth. That's the most difficult thing. As it is said, satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Na bruyat, priyam, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. Satyam bruyat. Speak truth. Priyam bruyat. Speak gentle and very mild words. And if that is not mild and gentle, please don't speak that truth. Sometimes we are other way. We like to disclose something which will trouble others. Have you experienced some of your friends or आके उनको मजा आता है ऐसा कुछ तो गड़बड़ चीज बताने में? ये मालूम है क्या हुआ? नहीं मालूम, I will tell. उसने ऐसा किया, उसने ऐसा किया. Satya, please speak truth, but that truth should be palatable. Krishna speaks in Bhagwat Gita. What's that verse? He says, Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam. Don't agitate others by your truthful statements. Even if you are right, don't speak it if it agitates others. There's a beautiful story which comes in Bhagavatam. Vidurji, he went on a travel, on a pilgrimage. Anyone knows why he went on pilgrimage? He didn't, participate in the fight. Because he was thrown out of the palace by Duryodhan. Vidurji would always give good advice to Dhritarashtra. And one day he said, Dhritarashtra, this son of yours, he will be the cause of the destruction of your dynasty. Please throw away this son of yours. Saesha dosha purushas dvidaste grihan pravishtoyam apatyamatya Pushnashi Krishna Dvimukha Gata Shri Tayatte Shaivam Kul Kaushalaya. If you want Kul Kaushal, if you want welfare of your dynasty, Tyajatya, please give up this son of yours. Dhritarashtra nahi suna, Duryodhan ne sun liya. He became so angry. He started insulting Vidurji. Who has kept the son of this maid servant here? Throw this person out of this palace only with his breath. That is the reward of his lifetime of service. That is retirement benefit. जीवित छोड़ रहे हैं इनको. He was so upset, so sad. He didn't retaliate. Vidurji didn't retaliate. He went for a pilgrimage because he was thinking, always wanted to go for a pilgrimage. अच्छा मौका मिला है. He went and did pilgrimage for many years. And he reached Prabhas Kshetra. Prabhas is a place in Rajasthan, in Gujarat, where Krishna disappeared from this world. Where all the Yadu dynasty, they fought and died. So he went there, he came to know that Krishna is not there. All the Yadus have left. Then later he came to know all the Kauravas have died. He went through so many places, and ultimately, after the war was over, he reached Hastinapur again. Yudhishthir welcomes him so very nicely. He said, "Oh, Vidurji, his uncle, right? He's very dear uncle of Pandavas." Vidurji always protected Pandavas. Just like the eyelids protect the eyes, Vidurji protected Pandavas very nicely. They were so very happy to receive Vidurji. And Yudhishthir asks, "Can you please tell how is Krishna? How are all the Yadus, Vrishnis? Where all you went? What all you did? Who all sages you met? What you heard from them?" So many questions he asked. Vidurji, he answered everything, but he didn't answer one question. How is Krishna? Because he knew this is so very difficult for Yudhishthir and all the Pandavas to hear. And in due course of time, they'll come to know automatically. Why should I become the messenger of bad news? Prabhupada writes in that purport, one should not be eager to become the messenger of bad information. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. One of the devotees was telling one time that whatever comes out of our body is foul smelling. Nothing is good which comes out of our body. Anyone can think of anything which comes out of our body is good? But there is only one thing which can be sweet. That is our words. Try to make our words sweet. That's the only thing which can become sweet. Rest everything is all foul smelling. All bad. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. So first quality is ahimsa, then satyam. Third is asteyam. Asteyam means not stealing others' property. Not eyeing over others' property. इसके पास क्यों है? उसके पास क्यों? मेरे पास क्यों नहीं है? Fourth is the principle of brahmacharya, celibacy, and then aparigraha. Aparigraha means not having possessive mentality. And then there are some rules for personal discipline. I'll just recount them. That is internal and external cleanliness, satisfaction, austerity, tapasya, and Ishvara pranidhan or surrender to Ishvara. So these are some do's and don'ts. But the purpose of all of these is Matchitta and Matpara. Become devoted to the Lord. So these can be applied. These are universal principles. Yam, niyam, asan. Just like to give a contemporary example. In cricket, what is yam? Yam means what are the don'ts? What are the do's? We all know. And what is asan? Yam, niyam, asan. When the batsman is standing. Then pranayam, he has to keep his body fit by all the postures, all the exercises. Then pratyahar, he should avoid what is not favorable. He should do what is favorable. Then dhyan, he should be focused when the ball is coming. And then when he hits the six, he is in samadhi. So these are universal principles, and that's what we have to learn to apply in our spiritual practices. Okay, so we'll stop here. Anybody has any questions? Or any comments? Yes. You can give the mic.
कृष्ण भगवान ने वो 4 वर्ण बताए हैं, तो 4 वर्ण के क्या क्या एडवांटेज हैं, डिसएडवांटेज हैं?
Please take out 4th chapter, 13th verse. बोलो, याद है? बोलो. मिल गया? 4th chapter, 13th verse. चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्मा विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्यकर्तारमव्ययम्. So in this verse, Krishna says these 4 orders, Chatur Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. They are based on what? Not birth. Guna and Karma, according to the qualities and according to the actions. I have created them based on Guna and Karma. Although I am involved in so many activities, but I am not affected by any of this because I don't want anything from this activity. I have just made the system so that this society can be peaceful. So any activity, if it is favorable and suitable for one person, he is comfortable doing it and he is competent doing it. We hear this term psychophysical nature. What is our psychophysical nature? How will I understand what is my psychophysical nature? Am I Kshatriya? Am I Brahman? Vaishya? Shudra? आजकल तो शूद्र वर्ड ही भयंकर है. Psychophysical nature means I am comfortable doing it and I am competent doing it. I like to do it and I can do it nicely. Because I may like to do so many things. It's like somebody may like to sing. बोलते हैं उसको संगीत का औरंगजेब. जब वो गाते हैं तो सब लोग उनको लगता है क्यों गा रहे हैं, और उनको लगता है कि मैं इतना अच्छा गा रहा हूं. अहो रूपम हो ध्वनि. So we should know what is my comfortable zone and what is my competent zone. So these 4 varnas, they have different types of nature. Brahman का क्या गुण धर्म है, क्षत्रिय का क्या गुण है, that is described in detail in the 17th chapter of Bhagwat Gita. So Brahman means pathan pathan yajan yajan dan pratigraha. Read scriptures, teach scriptures. Take charity and don't keep all the charity with yourself only. Distribute that charity. And do yajna and make others do yajna, perform yajna. That is Brahman. Kshatriya. Kshatriya means he likes to control, but he protects his citizens. He gives charity. Dana, Ishwar Bhav. Ishwar Bhav, he has lots of Ishwar Bhav. I am controller. But he uses all that control to serve the Lord. Vaishya, he takes care of the cows, he takes care of all the finances, and he takes care of the Brahmanas. Shudra, he's just happy assisting all the other Varnas. He's happy in that. You'll find these 4 Varnas everywhere in the society. You can't avoid these 4 things. Somebody is manager, Kshatriya means managers. You give them anything, they can run anything. You have seen such people? They can run any organization. You just give them some service, they will do it. If they don't know, they'll find out, they'll engage people, but they will get it done. Kshatriya. Some people, they are thinkers. They'll give ideas. In every company they have a think tank. They give ideas. They give all the good brains how to make this happen. They are Brahmanas. There are some people who are good in finances. They'll maintain finances. They like money. They like numbers. They are happy counting 1 crore, although they can't keep even 1 rupee. मजा आया आज, कितना पैसा गिना आज मालूम है. They are happy seeing money. They like to manage resources. They are vicious. And there are some people, they'll say, देखो भाई, सोचने को मत बोलो, क्या करना है बोलो, हम कर देंगे. They are like laborers, happy. So these are the 4 varnas. Just in brief, the qualities. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, destination of Ashtanga Yogi is basically Brahman, because he wants to see the Paramatma, but he is using that to achieve Brahman. For him, Paramatma is not the objective. Paramatma is object. Object of meditation is Paramatma, but objective is Brahman. So that is Ashtanga Yogi. But if Ashtanga Yogi gets chance to meet a devotee, then his object of meditation, objective changes. Then his objective becomes Bhagwan. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, just a small question for every. We also have this thought that when you said 7.7 and 10.8, when Krishna elaborately says that I am supreme. So many times people have this thought that then what is the difference between Abrahamic religion and our Krishna consciousness, that their God also says I am supreme and follow me. Of course Krishna says in a very nice way, but ultimately what is the difference then between Abrahamic religion and...
If somebody asks you what's your name and you will say Dr. Anuj, what do? I'm a Godlet. Just see how proud he is. अपने बारे में इतना बोलो, आप बोलेंगे यार एक लाइन बोला और अपने क्या, you are insulting. I have a long list of my designations. So if it is Krishna's kindness to introduce himself in a very brief way, because he wants our welfare. The difference between Abrahamic religions and Sanatan Dharma is Krishna never forces his decisions. He speaks it very emphatically, but he gives the destinations. If you follow this, you will get this. If you follow this, you will get this. He does it many times in Bhagwat Gita. 4.40-41 he says, those who are faithless, they'll be destroyed. Those who are faithful, they'll gain knowledge. Shraddhavan labate jnanam, agyasya shraddhanasya sanshayatma vinashyati. So Krishna, he is not a tyrant God who says, if you don't follow my path, you will be destroyed. There is nothing like eternal damnation in hell. Just like other religions, they say, if you don't follow our God, you'll go to hell for eternity. And there is no return from there. Krishna is not envious God. Many times Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, which God you want to follow? You want to follow this God? You follow. I will make your faith strong in that God. Who will do that? Krishna says, 7th chapter, 22nd verse. Krishna does that. Krishna speaks very, very wonderfully. He says, if your 7.22, yo yam yam, वही है ना? उसके आगे वाला क्या है? 21 है ना? यो यो याम याम तनुम भक्ता. Okay, ठीक है. 21. You will recite this. Very wonderful. यो यो याम याम तनुम bhakta
yo yo yanam tanu bhakta
श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति
yada ajada
तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां
tasya tasya shalapetta
तामेव विदधाम्यहम्.
tameva vidamyam
Translation? Where's the mic? 48.
I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity.
Yes. He is not an envious God. He is not an insecure God. कि मेरे पास नहीं आओगे ना, I'll punish you. You want to go to this God? You go there. I'll make your faith strong. And he says, in fact, whatever they give, they are taking from me only. That's what he says in the next verse. Because Devatas are servants of Krishna. So that is the wonderful benevolent nature of Krishna. He just gives all the pros and cons. He gives all the instructions. And then in the last what he says, what he tells Arjun, Yathechasi tatha kuru. You do whatever you want. अगर आप 1 घंटा किसी को पढ़ाएंगे, what will you expect? ऐसा नहीं कि मैं ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ. Generally, you know, anyone, if a teacher spends lots of time and energy, what the teacher will expect? बेटा फॉलो करेगा जो मैं बता रहा हूँ, कुछ तो सीखेगा. But Krishna says, Arjun, I have given you everything. Now you deliberate, vimarshana karo. Vimarshan means you think about it, and then you do whatever you like. Who can be so detached like this? Only Krishna can do this. आपको जो करना है करो. I have given you everything. But it is to the credit of Arjun. What Arjun says? 18.72. Arjun, he is giving his words, his verdict. What an ideal student of Bhagavad Gita should say after hearing Bhagavad Gita. Nashtamoho smriti labdho hai na? Nashtamo, 18.72. 73. Okay, 73. Nashtamoho smriti labdhva
Prashno siddhi labda
tvat prasadan maya chuta
idam sadam chita
sthitosmi gata sandeha
idosya sandeya
karishye vachanam tava. Nashta moha, all my illusion is gone. Smriti labdhva, my intelligence is established. Tvat prasadat, by your mercy, O Krishna. Sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. I'll do whatever you are saying. So that's the glory of Krishna and that's the glory of Arjun. Ideal God, ideal disciple, ideal devotee. He never forces his decisions, but a devotee's responsibility is to wholeheartedly follow what God is saying, knowing well that this is best for me. Okay, not like other gods, other religions.
Only other religion, the whole concept only is true God and false God.
Yeah.
There is no false God in Sanatana Dharma.
Yes. So that's why we don't discuss so much about the differences. Differences are unlimited. There are some sad parts of other scriptures, other religions. There is no need discussing that. Prabhupada never emphasized on the differences. In fact, in one time Prabhupada was in some Middle East state. And Prabhupada was talking with some guest and the azan started. You know, Allahu Akbar, ab jor se aa raha hai. And Prabhupada, he just was absorbed listening to that. And then he said, so beautiful it is, isn't it? Every religion in the world speaks about one God. And he spoke such wonderfully about, God. Prabhupada was never very strong against this religion or that religion. Prabhupada always said, I am not coming to convert you. I am just emphasizing that you follow your religion perfectly, which you are not doing. Prabhupada would say all this many times. So, in today's time and age, especially in India, where this Hindutva and nationalism is so very prominent, it is good to have such feelings that, okay, wow, India is understanding the culture, the religion, but a devotee should never have very strong negative feelings for anyone. That is not conducive for spiritual practices. It is not at all conducive to have strong negative feelings for anyone, even if they are wrong. Protect yourself, but be focused on what do we want. Because if we are having strong negative feelings, we can't focus on chanting. We can't focus on Krishna. All the while we'll be thinking of those things only, because they carry lots of negative energy, lots of passion. So that's why it is not so recommended to get into all the things which are happening in the world. Be aware about them, but don't spend so much of time and energy and your consciousness in discussing those things. Discuss about Bhagavad Gita. That is much better. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Eco depth and eco time can increase थोड़ा सा. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo. गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशधारिणे Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jai Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय। लक्ष्मी सिंह देव भगवान की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna. Anybody who has come for the first time today to our program? Hare Krishna. What's your name? Smita Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. You're from Orchard? Okay, wonderful. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. So thank you, Smita Mataji, for coming and encouraging us. We pray to the Lordships Radha Gopinathji that this marks a very auspicious beginning in your spiritual life. And we request you to please come, keep coming every week and inspiring all of us. We welcome Mataji in our traditional style by loudly chanting 3 times.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Krishna, thank you. महाप्रसादे गोविंदे
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे
नाम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे
नाम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे
स्वल्प पुण्यावतम राजन्
स्वल्पपुण्यावतम
विश्वासुनैव जायते
विश्वासुनैव जायते
शरीरा विद्याजाल जड़ेन्द्रियताहिका जीवे फैले विषय सागरे तार मध्ये जीवाति लोक लोभ माया सुदुर्मते
लोभमाया सुधीर्मते
ताक जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ा दयामय
कृष्ण बड़ा दयामय
हरि बारे जीव जा
जीव
स्वप्रसाद अन्न दिलो भाव सही अन्नामृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ
राधा कृष्ण गुण
प्रेमिड़ा को श्री चैतन्य निताय
को चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे जय श्री भगवत महाप्रभु। Thank you. Please continue for the